Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well. It is already August 27th. Crazy. So it is the end of August. It's almost over. Retrograde's over tomorrow. In my opinion, though, it hasn't been so bad. I don't know about you guys. How's retrograde treating you? But welcome all of you. We're going to go over a few things today. We're going to keep it a short show. I know it's hard for you guys to keep up with all the stuff I've been doing. Yesterday, great show with Mel Carmine. He was here yesterday at 11. It was such a great time. He asked me some great questions. So if you missed it, I really advise you to go and watch yesterday's show. And then stay tuned because I will have another crystal ball reading coming up on my new channel. So I'm going to share screen with that one right now. So that's Kristen Lee 11. And there's no space after Lee. It's just 11. But that's the new channel. You want to make sure you subscribe over there because you're going to see a lot of crystal ball readings and as well as the tarot and astrology. So all of it's over there for spiritual. And then this channel, as you know, is very patriotic. We cover Trump. We cover all the hot things with the politics. And speaking of that, we're going to get into it today with RFK and the Tucker Carlson interview. Did you guys see the beautiful show? It was amazing. It was just great. RFK just let it all out. He mentioned the white hats. He mentioned just all the corruptness behind the scenes. Just it's amazing to have all that out. Of course, we know it, but to have that come out and for him to speak it, and it's already the videos are going to go viral. We're going to make little clips. Everybody's going to make little clips, and they're going to go all over the place and get the words out there, especially around children and the depletion basically of the endocrine system, the hormones, shifting all their hormones. He really did get into it. I was trying to find it to play it for you. That's why I was a little late, but I couldn't find that. I listened to the whole thing, but I couldn't find it. But it is towards the end. But it was amazing. He really got into how over the years, how manipulative the whole system, not only the big pharma, and yeah, I'm going to say it because they were saying it, but not only is it the industry, the medical industry, but it's the food industry. And he got into that as well. The terrible treatment of wildlife and the sea animals, all of it. And it's horrific, but it's great that it's coming out and someone's speaking it. We need him. And it's great that he's now, working for Trump. So I'm just so happy that this is happening. And speaking of that, and I wanted to hold it up, but Maha, Maha, you guys probably have heard of it. Yesterday, they were flashing this cute picture of RFK and Donald Trump together, and it said Maha, so make America's health great again, is what it's really meaning. So, of course, but that's what's going to happen there. It's Maha. It's going to go viral, too. I wish I had the picture, but if you could Google it or look on Instagram. It's everywhere, Maha. It's going to be on shirts. It's going to be on hats. It's going to be everywhere. Yeah, make health great again. That's right. That's Maha. So it's cute that they're doing that. But it's just exciting. Things are really rolling now. I know that a lot of people come to me and they kind of complain a little bit like, hey, well, what about the adrena? You guys know what I'm talking about, the adrena and then that word. Well, that's going to come out eventually, but I think that they need to unroll this in their own way. But technically, if they're getting into the food industry and they're getting into all the corruptness of how it fluctuates and changes hormones of children, like, children periods start like for women, for girls, like super early now. I mean, I have to say mine was super early, 8 years old. And it's even happening even younger, I've heard. So it's the food, it's the system, it's what they're mandating these children to get, the jabbies, I'll call them, for school and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy. And then he even got into a topic with Tucker about special needs children as well, and how that has become more popular versus back in the day, years and years ago, it wasn't as popular, but now it seems like it's just very, very common. Like it's everywhere. And so I think that's a very important topic that they got into. But it's a great interview. I really hope that you guys can take some time to watch it. It's over an hour. It's like an hour and a half, but it is so worth it. So worth it. But hey, I am going to share screen. We're going to play just a little bit of it. Because I just loved it. So I'm going to just play this little piece, and then we'll move forward. We're going to pull cards on the food industry and see if those terrible ingredients are still on the shelves, which I do believe they are. But when will we see all of this, the food industry, those major companies with the poisonous foods out there, when will we see them taken out and taken off the shelves, away from everyone? So we'll look into that with the cards. But first, let's play this just to honor them both. They're both awesome people. So here we go.
Those are the most important issues. There's other issues that I'm going to disagree on with President Trump, but he was happy with that. And that's how our country ought to be. We ought to be able to.
So what is this realignment that you mentioned at the outset? Because this does feel like it's bigger than just this November.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a series of these realignments throughout American history, and there's history books that are written about the realignments. I think there's about 5 of them, and one of those is clearly happening now, because you see on so many issues, you've had an inversion. The Democratic Party has become the party of the elites. It used to be the party of the poor and the working class. In fact, there was a study that came out just recently that I saw that showed that 70%, that the people who voted for Biden own 70% of the wealth in this country. The people who voted for Trump own 30%. And so
I believe that.
Right. So you're seeing this realignment happen where the elites, where Wall Street, where the big tech, big pharma, the big banking houses are all now Democratic, and that the working class, the middle class, the cops, the firefighters, Sean O'Brien, the head of the Teamsters Union, spoke.
Good guy.
A great guy, great guy. Really love him. But he spoke at the Democratic convention. The Republican convention rather than Democratic convention. So you're seeing this big alignment, and even on environmental issues. It's so weird to me because the Democrats have become subsumed in this carbon orthodoxy. And you and I have talked about this, that the only issue is carbon. And what that's done is it's forced them to do something that you should never do if you're an environmentalist, which is to commoditize and quantify everything. So everything is measured by its carbon footprint, how many tons of carbon it produces. And, you're basically, you're putting everything in that kind of box of being able to quantify it and explain its value by numerically. And the reason that we protect the environment is just the opposite of that. The reason that we protect the environment is because there's a spiritual connection. There's a love that we have. I got into the environment because I wanted, this connection to the fishes and the birds and the wildlife and the whales, and the Purple Mountains majesty, and that I understood that the way God talks to human beings through many vectors, through each other, through organized religion, through the great prophets, through the wise people, the great books of those religions, but nowhere with the kind of detail and texture and grace and joy as through creation. And when we destroy nature, we diminish our capacity to sense the divine, to understand who God is and what our own potential is and duties are as human beings. And that...
I hope what you just said, by the way, is chopped up and put all over every social media platform in the world. When we destroy nature, we degrade our own ability to experience the divine.
Yeah. And that it's not about quantifying stuff. That's what the devil does. He quantifies everything, right? And that is, what he wants us doing. Put a number on it. And the reason we're preserving these things is because we love our children. And it's because we get, nature enriches us economically and spiritually and culturally and historically. It connects us to those 10,000 generations of human beings that were here before there were laptops. And it connects us to the most important spiritual lesson. All of the organized religions that we know of today, the central revelation of every one of those religions always occurred in the wilderness. Moses had to go into the wilderness to listen to hear God's voice and see the burning bush. He had to go to the wilderness of Mount Sinai to get the commandments. Muhammad who was a city boy from Mecca, had to go to the wilderness of Mount Hera on a camping trip with his kids and wrestle the angel Gabriel in the middle of the night and have the first stanzas of the surahs of the Quran squeezed from him. Buddha had to go into the wilderness to sit under and wander for years, and then sit under the Bodhigaya tree to get his first revelation of nirvana. And Christ had to spend 40 days in the wilderness to discover his divinity for the first time. And his mentor was John the Baptist, who lived in a cave in the Jordan Valley and ate honey of wild bees and locusts. And then all of Christ's parables come from nature. I'm the vine, you are the branches, the mustard seed, the little swallows, the scattering the seeds on the fallow ground. Because that is where we sense the divine. God talks to us through the fishes, the birds, the leaves. They're all, words from our Creator. And that is why we preserve nature.
Yes.
It's not because of it's not because the quantity of carbon. And by the way,
I feel what you said so deeply, I can hardly even express it. And thank you for saying that.
And by the way, the best thing that you can do for climate is to restore the soils. The soils are the solution to everything. The soil will absorb all that carbon. And it'll absorb the water. It'll stop the flooding. It'll give us healthy food. And that's what our national policy has to be. It has to be restoring the soil. And that is, everybody, listen, if you want to unite America, then talk about these things. Talk about the fishes, the bird, the wildlife, and just talk about ending mountaintop removal mining. Talk about ending the mountain cutting. Talk about getting rid of, the Democrats are putting these offshore wind farms and are exterminating the whales.
I know.
Most of us got into this because of the whales. And they're about to extinguish the right whales, the last ones on Earth, because with these monstrosities that are costing us 3 times the amount. We don't need them. It costs 33 cents a kilowatt hour when you can get onshore wind for 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And who's making the money? Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, foreign governments. And the other thing that they're funding, hundreds of billions of dollars. This is what climate has turned into, is these climate capture pipelines and are wreaking havoc with the agricultural lands across the Midwest, stealing people's property rights with, eminent domain. And who's making the money? BlackRock. And it's a useless technology that does not work. It's just all a boondoggle. And that's what's become the environmental movement in this country. And if you depart from that orthodoxy, you're expelled from it. If you want to make Americans fight each other, talk about carbon. If you want to bring Americans together, talk about habitat protection.
Yeah, nature.
And
it's a little weird. You literally spent your life with river keepers as an environmentalist, and environmental lawyer in the environmental movement. That's your life work product. Have you been expelled from the movement?
Pretty much, yeah. The weird thing is, I think of you as a radical environmentalist.
Well, I definitely am.
Yeah. You are.
I haven't showered inside in 10 years. Yeah. No, I feel it so strongly.
But also, you love nature. You're against these big projects that are destroying it. And, you talk about toxics, and the environmental movement no longer talks about toxics anymore. They don't care about it. They don't care that we're mass poisoning our children. It's so weird to me. And I saw you, for 40 years, I've been fighting to get against endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors are a class of chemicals that they alter us hormonally, and they change they can change sexual conduct, they can change sexual development, they can affect fertility, and we've already lost 50% of our sperm count. We're having girls in this country that are achieving puberty on average between 10 and 13 years old. That's 6 years less younger than they were, 80 years ago. We have the lowest puberty levels on any continent in the world here because we're just bombarding our children with endocrine disruptors. And they're chemicals like PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, atrazine, which can turn male frogs into females and produce fertile eggs. That's how potent they are as an endocrine disruptor, and it's in 63% of our water supply. PCBs, which I've been fighting since the day I became an environmental lawyer and getting them out of the Hudson. So, and for 40 years, I've been trying to get Republicans to talk about it. I talk with Roger Ailes all the time, who both of us know, who would let me occasionally onto Fox News to talk about it. But there was so much hostility from the Republican Party because it was like, you're attacking corporate profit taking, and that these are chemicals, they're molecules, who cares? They can't hurt you. And there was and then you do this incredible show on endocrine disruptors. And I'm like, oh my God, Tucker Carlson has just done the best show that's ever been done, showing, what's happening with endocrine disruptors and how they're just destroying us. And the Democrats went after you and the environmental movement. And I'm like, what? This is what we've been trying to get for 40 years, the Republicans to care about these issues. And they said, oh, he's saying that chemicals turn people gay and he's anti-gay and all of this stuff. And that wasn't what you said at all. And that's not what anybody said. And what we're saying is we're destroying our children. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, in God's creation, which is not ours to destroy. Your description of why we protect nature and its role in our lives and what happens when you're cut off from nature and animals, but being part of nature, is the best I've ever heard, ever. And
thank you.
I mean it. And when that, when it becomes a matter of quantifying things for profit, then that kind of corrupts the whole enterprise. So my last question, what happens now? You had this kind of amazing announcement with Donald Trump on Friday. It's now Monday, I think, which is 3 days ago. How do you spend from here until election day?
I'm going to work to get him elected, and I'm working with the campaign. We're working on policy issues together. I've been asked to go onto the transition team, and to help pick the people who will be running the government. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to fight. I don't know what would happen to me if we lose.
Well, that's kind of it. I mean, a lot of people I know personally and I'm friends with have gone to prison. One of them's in prison right now, Pavel Durov. There are others. What happens if he loses to you?
If
Trump loses and Kamala Harris becomes president?
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, I never really think about that. What I think is
good.
What I think is, okay, here's what I got to do today, and get up every day and say, reporting for duty, sir, and then go do that. And nothing's a crisis, everything's a task, right? And so that's what I'm going to be, kind of a happy warrior. I know what I have to do, so I'm going to do it.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., thank you.
That was
a blessing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. Yeah, so I wanted to play that because it's so important, even if you don't watch the whole thing, but you really should. That part, just amazing. That was just so cool to see. So many things he's addressed. But yeah, so you guys got the gist of it, but please go and watch. I pulled that from YouTube. Just type in Tucker Carlson you should subscribe to him if you're not. You don't want to miss anything. But yeah, we're going to pull some cards right here, right now. on the entire system. So I think this is going to open the doors, open also the eyes, right, of the food industry and what's really been in the ingredients of all these, the foods, the medical care, all of it. So this is like RFK is the one that's going to bring all this to justice, I believe. But let's ask the cards. Are we going to see this play out? Are we going to see the exposure now of the dark stuff? Okay, the ingredients, when I said that earlier, the ingredients, certain ingredients like in Coca-Cola and like major companies, that's just one. But most companies, okay, even the meat that gets sent back to China and then sends back to the US, it's not even from here. They took it there and did stuff to it and then put it back, inject it with stuff, all that kind of thing, all of it. So when will the exposures of all of it, including the ingredients, including what they do to the little ones, to all of us, right? The poison. So will this be massively changed? Because now it's being exposed. So it's already being exposed. It's already coming out. But will this be changed? Will all of those bad companies be put down, put to rest, gone, out of the shelves, off of the store shelves? Here we go. The baby food, everything, all tainted. Will all tainted food products, medical products be taken away out of our system forever? Yes or no? Nine of Cups, and we have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Two of Cups. Cups and tarot do represent love. This is an absolute yes to a yes or no question. Obviously, anyone could read this. The Two of Cups is a collaboration energy, I do believe, of RFK and the whole entire team, Trump as well. But it's him with the team. Like he said, he reports to duty every day. He's a Capricorn too, so he's just a worker. He is ready to take down the bad, take down the dark. So absolutely, those terrible companies that have been poisoning all of us, and especially the children, will be taken out. Nine of Cups is like a wish fulfillment. You can even tell, like on his face there, that Nine of Cups energy is just like an absolute yes. Okay, we're almost at the 10 of Cups. Queen of Cups is a motherly, nurturing energy. Okay, and also coming back, this is really what's coming through is really about the fertility of Americans, which has been lost. Many people have fertility problems. It is so common right now. Miscarriages, so common. Almost every woman. I mean, it's rare if you hear someone that didn't ever have one, but I keep hearing it more so right now. But here's the Queen of Cups. So I'm thinking that's more fertility. That's the women. That's the reproduction of the little ones, right? The younger generation isn't really producing anymore. Not like they used to. So that's going to be healed. All those topics are going to be healed. Yes, they're going to be taken off the shelves. No, there's not going to be tainted baby food, but there still is right now. It currently is still out there. So please, if you're newer to this channel, you need to read all ingredients. You need to know exactly what you're putting in your body, but most of all, especially your little ones, because it's awful. It's poison. And that's how the whole medical system, as we know, has banked off of creating diseases by creating it with food, creating it with what they inject into people. So that is how diseases come about. That's my opinion, but it's really sick and I'm really passionate about it. It makes me mad because many people, obviously, loved ones that have been manipulated into taking certain things, taking medications, taking, pill popping all day because they think that that's what they were told to do. It's going to heal and help them feel better. But obviously it's not. It's actually just a death sentence, honestly. It's sad. But anyways, it was a great card pull. Yes, absolutely. It's going to be taken care of. This is a breaking point to have RFK partnering up with Donald Trump because things are really going to get done now regarding health and the health of our young that are coming and the ones that are here. So I'm loving it for sure. But hey, let's do a card pull. We're going to do a card pull in a few minutes for just a collective reading. What we need to know today. What is the message for today for August 27th? But before we do that, because I love to play Trump's videos, I'm going to play a campaign video. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's pretty good. It's short and it's fun. So let's do it.
J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent.
Enough of her voice. The evil Kamala. But yeah, so that was a good one. I loved it. I love all the campaign videos they're doing. It's really good stuff. Let's see what else I have. Oh, yes. I have another topic we're going to switch to real quick. So personal topic here from ARCANA Shores. So you guys know about the retreat I am hosting in Branson area, Missouri. So there are still, now there's 5 spots left. So I should change the title. But so 5 spots are left for this soul retreat. And I would love to see you guys there. If you are interested, go to starcanashores@gmail.com. So let me put that up real quick for you. But yes, here it is. starcanashores@gmail.com. So that's where you want to inquire. And tomorrow the digital tickets are available. So they'll be all ready to go. But yeah, if you really can come and you want to be a part of it, it's 2 days. It's the 5th and 6th of October. It's going to be a lot of fun. So sunrise meditations, sunset meditations, campfire, spirit readings. So I'll be connecting with the other side, and we'll be doing tarot, of course. Crystal ball will be coming along with me as well. And it's going to be just a great time. And sponsored by Ascent Nutrition, as you all know. So we will have Ascent coffee and all the goodies. The mushroom coffee, we're going to put that in the coffee. Everything's going to be available. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys, and I hope to see you there. Be so fun. But anyways, and I do want to also bring up something too. So my readings, as you know, are on my website, arcanashores.net. Yesterday, I did announce and put on my website, Beyond the Veil, so the crystal ball and tarot, you get both in a reading. So that is now available on my website. So that's only $144, but it is now available. So that's the newest thing on my website. And for those of you that don't know, there is a video out on my new channel that I shared earlier. And that's where you can see my crystal ball reading, the first video that I did with it. But it's all there and it's all available. I did open up my schedule so you guys don't have to wait to get in. Even for just general readings, all of it's available right now, so you can get in pretty quickly. I open more spots because I like to work. I am a Capricorn Sun, Gemini Moon and Rising, and all I like to do is work. But I love it. I love working with all of you. It's truly a blessing, seriously. So thank you. But hey, let's pull some cards. Let's see, what is the message that we all need to know today? So as the energies are shifting, they are getting lighter, they're getting better, more clear. Tomorrow, retrograde is over. So if you have been struggling and you've just had a hard time because of retrograde, well, tomorrow, you're going to be fine. It's over. So let's take a look and see, what message do we all need to know today? Let's take a look. Wow, the Leo energy of strength, healing. I'm also hearing it's about your confidence right now. We do have the 7 of Cups. So if you're not feeling confident about a decision that you're trying to make, or a creative decision, I feel like some of you are trying to figure out exactly what you want to do, in what order. There's something about order. So 7 of Cups, it can leave you in a state of confusion or feeling like just kind of lost. Things aren't really clear at the moment, right? So still have faith and confidence in yourself, though. But always, and I always say it, go back to your first initial feeling. What were you feeling? What was your first? Actually, there's a technique I have. So make a list, make a complete list, but don't overthink the order at all. Make a list of what you want to do, your passions, what makes you excited. Make it as long as you can with all your ideas running through your mind. And then when you get to the end of it, go back and look at your very first one that came to you that you wrote down. That one holds the most weight. That one holds the most faith, the most confidence into what you are trying to achieve or the goal that you have set for yourself. Because that was your intuitive and your first impulse to write that one down. And I'm talking about when you're trying to, and this is a part of my journaling course too that's coming out this week. It's also it's just a great technique to really discover and dissect where your true feelings of importance lie with what you're trying to accomplish in your life. If it's trying to start a business, if it's about writing a book, whatever, it's almost like your bucket list too. You can throw whatever ideas come on there, whatever come to you, write it down. And I'm telling you, go back to the first one, the first few. Those hold the most weight of where you truly have more passion for those things. But it's a good technique. I do it all the time. And it helps me a lot. And you don't overthink it. You just continue to write. It may take you a few days to write it. But over time, your ideas, they just keep flowing. They keep coming. It's the flow state technique, honestly. But yeah, try to have more confidence if you feel lost or uncertain. So let's see what else we get. 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords. So there's quite a bit of a vibe going on, it looks like, in the collective. So the collective isn't feeling their best top game right now, mentally. This is more of a mental health thing is what I'm getting. So mentally, what do we do when we're not feeling good mentally? You got to get outside. Like RFK was saying, right? Connect with nature. That's where we find our divine source. That's where we can truly connect. We have to be in nature every day. You have to make it a point to get outside. Even if you're in a cold state and it's rainy and it sucks, it doesn't matter. It's still beautiful. Get out there. Do something in nature. So that's about your mental health. Anyone who's feeling really low, really down right now, take time for yourself. Like, you really have to nurture yourself. When you're not feeling good mentally and you bottle that energy up too long and you don't release it, then you're going to have physical issues occur. You just will. Now, the 10 of Wands, that is some sort of completion. So it looks to me like a lot of people could be purging energies. So I think you guys are doing well with this as a collective, whether you're watching it now or later. As a collective, doing very well with this, but mental entrapment is what I'm hearing. So if you find yourself, and that could still be that 7 of Cups energy, you still find yourself still going in circles, still trying to figure something out, you don't know how you feel, your emotions are all over the place, then just don't do anything. Don't make any decisions when you're in that state of mind. So let's see. But you are near a completion. So I want more information for the collective about this completion. The Emperor, the 8 of Cups, and the Empress. Okay. So that's very powerful energy. So yeah, you're at completion of things that are holding you down. So maybe for some of you, it's a relationship or it's a job. It's something that's just draining you completely, causing you to feel this mental entrapment. So that could be what that completion is, because we pulled more cards for the card of completion, the 10 of Wands. So the Empress, the Emperor, all of us are emperors and empresses. So if we're all in our power, this is where we're trying to get to, which we are all, this beautiful vibration. So if we embrace the Empress, we embrace the Emperor energy, 8 of Pentacles, you're always going to accomplish whatever you're trying to do. So if it is a new job, you're trying to wrap up an old one, get rid of it, it doesn't make you feel good, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. If you're too worried about, well, how am I going to do, pay this and pay that if I just leave? Well, if you strategize it, you can do it. You can do anything. You are the writer of your own story. We say this all the time. But you have to. You have to make a change. It's uncomfortable. All changes are. But that's what helps you to grow. You have to be uncomfortable in order to grow. So I feel like a lot of you are transitioning into your Emperor and Empress energy. You are transitioning. You're getting rid of the lower vibration slave type of jobs, or maybe it's a relationship. Maybe you feel like a slave in a relationship. You're done. You're not doing it anymore. So you're done with it. Whatever it is, however this resonates to you, take what resonates. Because it could just be a certain friend. It could be someone in your life that completely just wipes you out with all your energy and you can't take it anymore. It could be, or it could just be a relationship that's for a while hasn't been serving you, just like a job for a while. So you got to wrap it up. It is time to wrap things up with that 10 of Wands. That's what that means for sure. In this reading, that's what it means. That's what came through. But I hope that helps somebody. As long as it helped one person, at least, then I know I'm doing my job. So I hope it did help you guys so much. And I appreciate all of you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the personal readings. I want to give a shout out to Elsa. I saw that you sent a super chat. Thank you so very much, Elsa. I appreciate it very much. And Manifesting Marin in the house. Good to see you here. And for those of you that are on Instagram, look up Manifesting Marin. She's one that I follow her. So if you can't find her, just look under who I follow. But Manifesting Marin has some great content. She's always posting truth, and I love it. So keep it up. You're awesome. But all of you, thank you so much for being here. And once again, website, in case you don't know, is arcanashores.net. And that's where you can find all my readings. That's just the newest one, but all of them are there. And hey, I look forward to seeing you guys. Now for tomorrow, there's something going on for tomorrow. So Wednesdays, I am going to, for the algorithm of YouTube, Wednesdays, there won't be morning shows. So yes, I know there's a bit of a change to the schedule, but it's going to help the channel to grow, because if there's too many shows and people can't keep up with them, there's not going to be enough views for the channel to continue to grow. So what we have to do is, I did an experiment, and that's what the results are with the experiment. So Monday, Tuesday, yes, there's a morning show. Thursday, Friday, yes, there's a morning show. Not on Wednesdays, not on Saturdays or Sundays, but you will see more content on the other channel, the new channel. So it's not like I'm not around. I'm always around. But I hope that you guys are cool with that. But it's the best route to take for the growth of the channel. Because as you know, being a patriotic channel with Donald Trump, all channels are being suppressed if you support Donald Trump. So pretty sad. It sucks. But you know what? It's okay. We got this. So I encourage you guys to watch yesterday's show if you haven't yet with Mel. It was great. He asked me some real good questions. And it's questions that all of you would definitely want me to pull cards on. So I did. And it was pretty good. But anyways, you guys take care of yourselves. And I'll see you on Thursday morning, 11 a.m., the new time. Bye.